So, good evening. So, today let's look at physics. Physics. So under physics, page 110, we are going to focus on vectors, vector analysis. So we try to focus on vectors, vector analysis. Now some people might wonder, what is a vector? All right. So a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. So a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. So this is how you define a vector. A vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. So a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. A vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. So for example, if you are trying to tell someone to say, I'll give you an example. Let's say I approach you and you say you are going to Lusaka. You are moving from a certain area or a certain place going to Lusaka. All right. Now, you know that from where you are coming from, for example, here in Zambia, you are coming from Kitwe and you are going to Lusaka. You know that there's a distance between Kitwe and Lusaka. That means that distance you are going to move, let's say this is Kitwe, you are going to Lusaka, right? You are going to Lusaka. You know that there is a distance between Kitwe and Lusaka. Let's say the distance is 2 kilometers, all right? So this distance or this kilometer is what we call the magnitude or the size, or you can say size. Now, because you are moving from Kitwe to Lusaka and you know where you are going, your destination, that is what we call the direction, all right? So a vector, this kind of description refers to a vector because we have a direction as well as a magnitude or the size. All right. So that means a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. All right. So magnitude refers to the size and direction refers to where you are going or the destination. I just hope you get that. Now, in this vector definition, there are two important or keywords that you need to follow. We have a magnitude. This word is very important. We also have the direction. So the magnitude refers to the size. Now, this magnitude is what we can also call as the resultant. Resultant. All right. We also have, in this vector definition, we have another important word, which is the direction. Now, the direction in this case refers to the angle. So direction refers to the angle. So this angle is now denoted by theta, right? Theta. Now, the question is, how do you find the magnitude of the resultant? So you need to master that the resultant R is given by Pythagoras theorem. So you can say the component of x square plus the component of y square. The direction of n vector is given by the tan theta equals to the component of y divided by the component of x. That is what you can do. So a vector definition is very important. It has two keywords, the magnitude as well as the direction. So the magnitude is given by the Pythagoras theorem, which is the square root of x squared plus y squared. The direction is given, it's just the angle. So every time you hear the word direction, you always think of the angle. Now, there's another important point that you need to know. Any vector or any quantity associated with an angle is called a vector, right? So any quantity associated with an angle is called a vector. For example, we can have 20 newtons at 30 degrees, right? 20 newtons at 30 degrees. So this is a vector because we know that newtons stand for force, and this 20 newtons, it is the magnitude or the resultant. So that means we have the magnitude, which is 20 newtons, the size, and this is the angle. Now remember what I said, the angle refers to what? The direction, right? So because there is a magnitude as well as the angle, now this completes a definition of a vector, which we said it is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. So magnitude in this case, we have 20 newtons, and direction in this case, we have 30 degrees, right? So a vector definition is so important in that it has two important weights. One of them is magnitude and the other one is direction. So how do you find direction? Always use tan theta equals to y over x, right? The component of y over the component of x. How do you find the magnitude? You use square root of x squared plus y squared, right? An example of a vector is 20 newtons at 30 degrees. That means any quantity associated with an angle is called what? A vector. So any quantity associated with an angle is called a vector. So you need to know that any quantity associated with an angle is called what? A vector. For example, we can say 50 meters at 20 degrees. So you can say 50 meters at 20 degrees. So this is a vector because this 50 stand for the magnitude and this 20 degrees stand for the angle or the direction. All right. So unless there are questions. So what is a vector? What is a vector? What is a vector? A vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. A vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. The magnitude of the vector is given by square root of x squared plus y squared. The x in this case stands for the component of the x of that vector plus the component of y of that vector square. The direction refers to the angle, and how do you find this angle? You use tan, which is equals to y over x.